Hello, my name is Tyrone Dillard, and I am the 4-H agent here in Camden County. And today I'd like to talk to you about how to create your own chemical reaction. This activity was taken from the Colorado 4-H Shooting Sports STEM Connections curriculum. It is very fun and interactive. The learning objectives for this activity are: the participant will learn that combining chemicals can cause a reaction. Participants will learn that certain chemicals store energy. Participants will also learn that certain chemicals speed up a reaction. And finally, participants will learn that heat is generated from certain chemical reactions. What is chemical energy? Chemical energy is the energy involved in the bond formed between two atoms. Each bond within a chemical compound involves different amounts of energy. What is a chemical reaction? When one of these bonds breaks, a chemical reaction occurs and chemical energy is used. The bond is released and is either reused in forming new bonds with other atoms or enters the surrounding atmosphere as heat. You can't see chemical energy or touch it, but you can see it released when reactions occur. One dramatic example of chemical energy is a stick of exploding dynamite. The TNT molecule is converted to water, carbon dioxide, and carbon monoxide. Many bonds are broken, and the energy supplied by the bonds breaking provides the energy to form the new bonds. The excess energy creates the visible explosion along with heat. There are two types of reactions. Exothermic reactions are reactions that give off heat, such as exploding dynamite. Endothermic reactions are reactions that require heat to occur, for example, an ice pack. In order to create your own chemical reaction, you will need the following materials. You will need one empty 20-ounce plastic bottle or some other type of container, such as a plastic cup. You will also need another empty bottle to mix your yeast solution, or again, you may use a cup. 3% hydrogen peroxide solution, which is available at any store. A higher percentage will result in a more energetic reaction, but for safety purposes, I would recommend that you use 3% hydrogen solution. Dishwashing liquid, and it can be of any brand. A packet of active yeast from the grocery store, which may also be labeled as rapid rise. Warm water, food coloring, and an aluminum pan. Now let's put it all together. Pour 1/2 cup of hydrogen peroxide solution, 1/4 cup dishwashing soap, and a few drops of food coloring into the bottle. Swish the bottle around to mix the ingredients, or if you're using a cup, you may use a plastic spoon. Set the bottle in the aluminum pan. Afterwards, in a separate container, mix a packet of active yeast with a little warm water. Give the yeast about 5 minutes to activate before proceeding with the rest of the experiment. Afterwards, pour the yeast solution into the hydrogen peroxide solution. Let's see what happens. All right, so what I'm doing here is taking the yeast and mixing it with warm water because it has to sit for about 5 minutes. You give it a quick stir. And while it's getting activated, we will have a half a cup of 3% hydrogen peroxide. Just do the best you can on the measurements. We have our dish soap or dishwashing liquid. Any brand will do. We're going to do about a fourth. We also have food coloring to give it some color. You only need a few drops. 1, 2, 3. Give this a quick swish around. Okay, so now we have our hydrogen peroxide solution that is mixed with about a fourth cup of dish soap, a few drops of food coloring. We have our yeast that is here activating. So now we should be just about ready to mix the two together and see our chemical reaction. And as you can see, we have our chemical reaction. It is spilling over. You see the foam. And that is how you make your very own chemical reaction. Let's talk about it. How much time did the reaction take? What were some of the things you observed about the reaction? What do you think was in the bubbles? Once the foam stopped overflowing and you touched the sides of the cup, was it cold or warm? What happened? Hydrogen peroxide is a reactive molecule that readily decomposes into water and oxygen. In this experiment, yeast catalyzes, which means to speed up the reaction so that it proceeds much more rapidly than normal. The dishwashing detergent captures the oxygen that is released, making foam. Food coloring is added to color the film of the bubbles so that you get colored foam. In addition to being a nice example of a decomposition reaction, the experiment is also exothermic, so heat is produced. I'd like to thank you for taking the time to review this lesson and also to take part in this activity. If you have any questions, you could contact me at tldiller@ncsu.edu. Again, my name is Tyrone Dillard, and I am the Camden County 4-H agent with North Carolina Cooperative Extension. Thank you.